Good evening, race fans, and live from the USA International Speedway, LSRTV is glad to bring you coverage of the In the Zone Racing League, GetShop.com, Late Model Shootout Series Season 12 and Round 2 under the lights in Lakeland, Florida. I want to welcome you to the broadcast alongside myself, Evan Pasoko, PDJ Zeller, and Laura Lawson pushing all the buttons. PD, tonight we got something special for everybody on this Thursday evening to fill our short racing fix, and we're going to see it tonight under the lights at USA, a special event for the ITZR In the Zone Racing League. The Late Model Shootout Series Season 12 began just 1 week ago. This evening is round 2, and there's some special meeting behind tonight. It is the Gail Tomer 125.
Yeah, it's a very big shame here in honor of, Bill Tomer's relative, and he's going to be in this race. He's practicing P9 right now. We don't know the exact qualifying. Qualifying happened in another session, but obviously heavy hearts and a lot of thought behind tonight's race, and one thing that is really well known is there are some really elite guys in this race. You'll see guys such as Pro Series drivers, Andrew Fash III and Adam Gilliland. You'll see Jeff Ramsdell, another pro guy. You'll see all these great drivers such as Justin Brooks, Trey Jarrell, Joe Schaefer Jr., Tim Bills. I mean, a whole bunch of short track talent has came out, and Jeff By Jr., how could I forget him? I mean, just some of the best short track racers in iRacing have come out tonight to try to prove their name and make a stake here in the ITZR Super Late Model Series, and we're just a little bit away from going green, about 2 minutes now until the green flag should wave, and it should be an exciting one. In a race that seemed, Justin Brooks won week 1. It appeared as though he would have a good shot winning at USA, but so far, Joe Schaefer Jr. has been fastest in every single thing I've seen him do. Schaefer looks like he is a real strong machine. Keep your eyes out on Joe Schaefer in that number 22 here tonight.
And you'll notice from everything from the pink cars to the pink ticker as well that this race, again, we talked about it, the second race of the 12th season for the Late Model Shootout Series. The race is named in honor of League Administrator Bill Tomer's mother, Gail, who lost her elongated battle with breast cancer in late February. So the idea behind the race, to get it on air, and you see everybody obviously sporting the pink breast cancer, something that affects a lot of people. I lost a grandmother to breast cancer, so it's a very wide thing, PD, and a lot of things that people don't notice on iRacing, but there's a lot of events like this where you get a lot of people to come together for a good cause, and that's what we're going to see tonight. And by the way, we'll see some exciting short track action in the middle of it all. It's going to be 125 laps this evening, 94 miles, so not a lot of time. There's a lot of drivers, though, and let's run you down through the starting grid presented by the title sponsor for this series, GetShop.com. Pole position going to be given by the field inversion inside the top 10 to the 57. Tyler Scott going to be on pole position. The 13 of Eric Myers will roll from second.
In third tonight is Trey Jarrell, who has a really fast car. Keep your eyes on him. Fourth is Peter Fisher.
You got Jeff By Jr., one of the drivers to keep an eye on tonight, can roll from the inside of row 3 and P5. Alongside him, how about the 81 car of Adam Gilliland?
In seventh tonight is Justin Brooks second. Go to Facebook.com/Justin Brooks Designs. That's one of the big sponsors for this series here. Be sure to check them out for all your paint needs on iRacing. And starting from P8 is Tim Bills, and that number 37.
More big names as we continue through the top 10. You have ninth position to 22 of Joe Schaefer Jr., Bill Tomer, and a 5 car will round out the top 10 as the field rolls from the front straightaway grid.
Houston Hammer Jr., a pro crew chief himself, from 11th to 12th to Cameron Hamilton.
Alan Lewis will start 13th, 14th to Cole Tim.
Cocker in the 15th position, 16th to another pro driver, Jeff Ramsdell.
Got Schrader 17th alongside him. Outside row 9 at 18th, it's the 95 of Joshua Hart.
19th to Todd Guerin in the number 54, and rounding out top 20 is Mason A. Diaz.
You got Joshua Thornton, Gil Gawk, Brandon Simmons, Scott Rutherford, Zach Steele, Anthony Sergi, Thomas Mightier, Kevin Malone, Chad Dilteller, and Jason Stout, all the way through 30 cars, the maximum amount that are going to be able to start this event. Not all the cars are currently on the grid right now. Some of them may be starting from pit road. Some of them may not be making the actual start of this one, but nonetheless, 30 is what the field has been capped at. Lights are off for the pace car. One more pace lap before we get this event underway. PD, real quick, what is going to be the key to success to take home the checker tonight?
That's quite easy for me. The key to success is going to be surviving the wrecks. This race is a USA small track, lots of carnage, and while we're all here to run a fun online racing race, let's think about the bigger image here tonight. We're fighting against breast cancer, a very serious disease that affects us all.
And again, the pink cars throughout the field, it's going to be 2 of them sporting that color that are going to start on the front row from this one. The iRacing.com Ford First Mustang pace car ducks down to pit road. We're glad to have you with us on LSRTV at a quarter number 4 from the USA International Speedway. Green flag flies. Tyler Scott going to fly that number 57 car down to quarter number 1, 2 abreast throughout the field. This Gail Tomer 125 Memorial event in support of breast cancer is green down to back straightaway on lap 1, and a good fighting already in action. 4th on back, 2 sets of side by side. Peter Fisher will win the battle over the 1 car of Jeff By Jr.
Falling back quick is that 81 of Adam Gill, and that's a pro DWC driver who's won races. He's losing positions quick as he's going to try sliding around. Joe Schaefer's having none of that, slides it under him. Clear is the 81 Gill, and barely. That makes Tim Bills have to go wide and get out of their way. Bill Tomer watches as all this happens. Still single file throughout the top 10 now as Tim Bills is going to be falling the wrong direction as Houston Hammer now gets up to his bumper. And now, side to side, almost into the wall. Bill Tomer making door contact with Tim Bills. That's nothing for these guys. They're used to doing that here with these cars. Houston Hammer now inside of that number 37. Houston trying to get it done, and man, that 37 Tim Bills is a ping pong ball early in this race as he is getting hit from all types of directions. Up the racetrack, turned as Tim Bills, and he just got hit one too many times. Saves it. Great save by Tim Bills, but he turns the 69 into the wall. Hard contact, and they continue to wreck hard hits, and that is going to take out a few good cars. Hardest hit of the wall by Scott Schrader in the 6.
Yeah, that all started with that number 5 car. Really, Bill Tomer was talking about him and was going to say what would it be like if he could go to victory lane, an event that is honor of his mother here. The 37 car is who he was racing with, PD. And Tim Bills, you were talking about, had not a lot of places to hide. He had the 77 at Houston Hammer go to the inside, and evidently just overdrove the corner a little bit, got into the left rear. They kind of got checked up. They had saved it initially. It was a good save from that Bills camp. However, he was slow, tried to get back on the accelerator coming off of the corner. Those tires spun, and it's the 69 car who gets hooked into the outside retaining wall. Matt Coker with some pretty good contact. He comes back down. Then you find the 95 and the 00. Those 2 cars with a pretty heavy lick, the 89 car around as well. We'll sum it up as about a 5-car incident, but many more had to scatter to try to get around that one as the first caution flies for an incident down in corners number 3 and 4. We do talk about how this is round 2. It is race 2 of 12 on this season 12 campaign for the In the Zone Racing League. GetShop.com late model shootout series. Petey, you talked about how Justin Brooks went to victory lane in the season opener round 1 week ago from the Iowa Speedway, an event that 48 drivers attempted to qualify to compete in. Brooks was able to take home the win. How about Todd Guerin came home with a second in that one. Eric Myers the third. Bill Tomer with a 4th, and Anthony Sergi would round out the top 5. The likes of also Scott Schrader, Ian Lane, Cameron Hamilton, Kevin Malone, and Jeff By Jr. also to round out the top 10 in last week's results. Not surprising that the majority of those names find themselves up front early in this event as well.
A lot of good guys here. One guy who you did not mention was Trey Jarrell. Trey Jarrell making his return to league racing here tonight in his Justin Brooks design short track racing network machine. He has looked strong in practice. He looks strong in qualifying. I really like the looks of that number 41 here. He is going to be looking to get the job done, and well, I wouldn't be too surprised if he did. Trey Jarrell is just an elite driver on and off the racetrack. He does so many things right that our drivers can't. Happy to see him out here racing tonight. Expect big things here from Trey Jarrell as he's going to get going. And right slotted in behind him is Jeff By Jr. So Jeff By Jr., expect some good things out of him as well. I mean, I really expect to see some good quality things. He has an 8,600 iRating. His winning percentage on iRacing official races is 82%. The man just doesn't lose. He is looking to make his own history here tonight. And obviously behind him, you have the great Justin Brooks II, one of the best short track racers in iRacing. I'm not even going to go into him. And just in front of him is Adam Gill, and then you got Joe Schaefer. Just a whole line of great cars here. Remember, I'm just going back from 3rd on. In the lead is Eric Myers, and 2nd is Trey Jarrell. A whole lot of good guys as the leader actually to get an EOL penalty. I probably should mention that. The 57 of Tyler Scott EOL'd for jumping the start, so that's just a sad break for him. But everyone else in this field looking good right now. Really like the big names we're seeing out front right now. A lot of big guys. If you run iRacing short track races, you know these names. These are the names that most guys fear when they hear.
And you talk about how the fact that although this is a special event, obviously round 2 we have the broadcast going, and it is in honor of Gail Tomer and breast cancer awareness really entirely, which is why you see all the pink tonight. It is still race 2 of a 12-race championship, which, by the way, in this series, There are no resets, so you get what you bring to the racetrack as well. And there are no drop weeks in the championship, so you see a lot of big names. It's not like they just showed up for this event. All of these guys battling all the way through this season for the championship. You can follow up with everything in the zone racing at ITZR.net for more information on them. But we get set to go back green flag racing off of our first and so far only caution flag from the USA International Speedway. Now it will be Eric Myers on pole position in the 13 car. He slides up from second after the pole sitter. Tyler Scott back to 22nd with a black flag. Pace car down and away. Field rails at a quarter four. Green flag back in the air. And it's Trey Jarrell on the outside lane that wants to challenge for the lead spot. Who keep the nose out there down to quarters 1 and 2. He'll duck back in line. Give that up as they come into 2. Looks like the 71 car of Peter Fisher able to get on P3. One car though, Jeff by Jr.
Oh, wrecking the back, Kevin Malone. Kevin Malone hard around in the back with the number 20 machine. It all started with that number 20 I'm talking about. He just was checking up the 23 who was hard on the wall, and that 23 really got in his way. Then Anthony Sergi, who had a good run last week, got spun out into the 18. Those two wrecked, and that will bring out the first caution of the event. So Kevin Malone, Anthony Sergi wrecked, checking up for Alan Lewis, and that will bring us under caution here from the USA International Speedway. Another tough wreck.
That'll be our second incident after that 23 caught the fence. And again, just a checkup situation you talked about. The 20 was just following in line with the 54 car, but I don't think there was really much of a way for Kevin Malone to notice that 23 in the outside retaining wall, because everybody else, he was pretty tucked up behind him in a side-by-side fight a couple of rows deep. Not a lot of visibility up to the fence, and if you didn't have a live spotter that immediately caught that, you can see where that incident comes from. So we slowed them back down very quickly. Made some minor notes about some of the series rules for those that may not follow this series all the time, and maybe some regular viewers with us at LSRTV. Let's let you know everything you can, the important stuff, some series information. Talked about how there are no resets given for any event, so you only get one race car. Whatever damage you receive, you're going to have to fight through, try to get that fixed as the night goes on. The lucky dog rule is in effect. A random field invert from positions 1 to 10 sent the grid at the beginning of this event. Talking about how there are no drop weeks in the championship. $25 will be awarded to the series champion by title sponsor GetShop.com, and this is a fixed set of events, so everybody out there is going to be on the same equipment. Some of these guys may have had a little bit of an issue kind of gauging what they would be expecting coming into this, PD. We talked about a qualifying was earlier on in the evening. There were two sets of qualifying events, and that was the closed qualifier sessions. One of them had significantly faster drivers, where at one point a time that was inside of the top 10 in one would have been outside of the top 20 in the other. So you might be feeling really good, and you come into the main event, now you find yourself way back in the pack. So it is very difficult to fight through a field, which officially, when we took the green flag, did sit 28 cars strong. The only cars that did not start were the 42 and the 61s.
Yeah, I mean, a star-studded field here. We're going to have to really keep our eyes on some of the, really elite drivers in this race. One thing that I noticed that really caught me here was during the practice and qualifying sessions, I had a chance to talk to some of the drivers. I was catching up with some old friends here, and we were talking about how in this series, the practices, it's not really set up to be this way, but there's usually one practice with all the fast guys, and one practice with maybe the little bit off the pace guys. So qualifying, usually there's one practice with all the guys they expect to be fast and one of the guys you expect to be slower. So it's almost like they know their boundaries and they know what practice to enter here, and it's not set up by the league by any means. It's just they kind of go with it here. So that's I guess it really helps you find more speed in your car, I guess. Maybe you don't get so undetermined whenever you see the fast times the fast guys are running. I don't know what it is, but for whatever case it is, that is what happens here. And as we look through this field, I mean, it's still, you said we started with 28 cars. We still have about 25 of them in this field running, actually 22 to be exact. Brandon Simmons, the last car out there running that 07, he is a name that is known throughout the short track community. He might not be the fastest guy in the world, but Brandon Simmons is always out there. He runs the league, and he really enjoys racing, so he's always a good quality driver to see out there. We're getting ready for another restart, and we're going to have a whole bunch of Justin Brooks Designs cars out front as we get ready for another restart. One thing I'm noticing, though, is every car in the top 10, with the exception of Adam Gillen, you see a whole lot of pink on it.
Yeah, a lot of pink out there again in support of this evening's festivities with the Gail Tober Memorial 125. Let's go back at it. Our second restart off of a caution flag so far this evening. It is going to be the 13 of Eric Myers in control once again. Trey Jarrell on the outside lane. Peter Fisher, Jeff By Jr. row 2. Green flag flies at quarter 4 and back underway as we cross over to take lap number 16 of 125. The top 2 single file up very quickly. Not so much of an easy story for the number 1 GetShop.com Chevrolet Jeff By Jr. as a challenge to the inside by Peter Fisher. Great run off of 2 though will get him clear for third.
Clear for third. Justin Brooks now looks to get back at him here as Joe Schaefer behind him, a really good driver trying to get back up there. Side-by-side battle between Bill Tomer and that number 2, Jeff Ramsdell. Ramsdell driving his way through the field really quick right now. Like the looks of that Jeff Ramsdell entry as he makes another pass here. Bill Tomer is going to slip into the 10th position with Todd Guerin looking right down his eyes here. These top 5 are all bumper-to-bumper, nose-to-tail here as they continue to race it out. And right now, no side-by-side battles immediately, but a lot about to form here in this top 5 as everyone is right on top of each other, because if they're not careful here momentarily, we will see some side-by-side racing as we do Adam Gilliland versus Cole Tim as they head down to the corner number 3. No chance there for Tim. He's going to give him a bump, send himself up the racetrack, and that will open the door for Jeff Ramsdell in that Dodge machine as he heads inside. Still a lot of good racing going on. Those top 2 have started to pull away, though, Trey Jarrell and Eric Myers. If Jarrell can get by Myers, I do believe Trey Jarrell has a great car, so we'll see what he can do with it. But right now, we continue to battle between Cole Tim and Jeff Ramsdell.
Yeah, Adam Gilliland, you talked about the high side. He was stuck up there, was able to get back in line. Now right behind him. How about that? They're pinching each other, and on the outside, the 51 of Cole Tim not giving any room to Jeff Ramsdell. Squeezed him down, and in the end is able to get the position and maintain P8 after Jeff was challenging to the inside. Quick peek to the inside right behind them. It's a battle for P11 to 54 of Todd Guerin. Looking to the inside in that exchange is the number 57 car of Tyler Scott. That's the battle.
They battle now, and well, this has been a good battle throughout this race as these two now go at it. Really got to be bad for 13 as they're 13's falling back there. Peter Fisher trying to make a move on Eric Myers. He was just leading a second ago. Got to keep your eyes out for him as Eric Myers is probably going to want to try to get his position back. Not going to happen, though, because Trey Jarrell is pulling away. Jeff By Jr. can't do a whole lot about it here as those two try to settle that one out. Justin Brooks not going to fill the hole. Eric Myers is in no man's land because he has a whole lot of good cars behind him. He'll probably end up falling out near P8 as Cole Tim goes around, and it's going to send Bill Tomer hard almost in the outside wall. He saves it. Caution is out as everyone checks up. Bill Tomer around to bring out the yellow.
We talk about the strategy into this event, and I was overhearing some of the conversation pre-race, and some of these guys trying to gauge their lap times. They said, thinking got to hit the apron if you want to make it rotate. Well, somebody that did that a little bit too much to 51 of Cole Tim got sideways right in front of the 5 of Bill Tomer, who did a really good job of checking up to stay off of him as they were coming off of quarter number 2. Found some assistance from behind, though. The 57 of Tyler Scott got into him, turned the 5 car around. Pretty good recovery on behalf of Tomer, the fact that he did not really plow it to the inside wall. He will get damage, but it's going to be limited to the damage from the initial contact off of quarter number 2. We work under our second caution. This race is sponsored by GetShop.com. The GetShop.com gives you an extreme flexibility to create your store the way you like it without compromising the usability. Easy to get started and also supporting advanced features. You don't need to pay for a leading e-commerce solution. GetShop.com, title sponsor of the In The Zone Racing League. GetShop.com, late model shootout series season 12. You're watching on LSRTV. We're going to take this opportunity under our third yellow to take the first yellow of our own. Step away for a commercial break. We'll bring you back to the USA International Speedway for the upcoming restart.
Here's the thing that makes life so interesting. The theory of evolution claims only the strong shall survive. Maybe so. Maybe so. But the theory of competition says just because they're the strong doesn't mean they can't get their asses kicked. That's right. See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic. So before you step up to the starting line, before the whistle blows and the clock starts ticking, just remember, out here, the results don't always add up. No matter what the stats may say, and the experts may think, and the commentators may have predicted, when the race is on, all bets are off. Don't be surprised if somebody decides to flip the script and take a pass on yelling uncle. And then suddenly, as the old saying goes, we got ourselves a game.
Back live, and the lights on the pace car are out. We are getting set for a restart in this evening's In the Zone Racing League GetShop.com late model shootout series from the USA International Speedway, the Gail Tomer Memorial 125 in support of breast cancer research. The 41 car going to take us back to the green flag once again. Trey Jarrell, after getting to the point on that last cycle, is going to be able to go to the top spot. Top two single file, PD down the back straightaway. Third on back, a very different story. We're too wide for quite a few rows.
Double file here, and well, these guys are really trying to figure out who belongs where as they continue to duel it out here. Up front, though, is the 71, who is going to get up to the third position now as Justin Brooks behind him tries to find his spot in the line. And, I mean, he is really trying to find a spot in the line, as he now does right behind the number 71. And Eric Myers is heading in the right direction. He loses a spot to Adam Gillerland, and Giller is going to lose another spot there, so that's a tough break for him. Trey Jarrell, Jeff By Jr. gone, and, well, right now, the 2 gets bumped. Jeff Ramsdell saves it. Another incident that Cole Tim was involved in, but everyone's going to save it. They're going to continue racing right behind him with Cameron Hamilton and Todd Guerin.
And that's not the first time that the 2 car has had a little bit of contact in this event. Just now 30 laps going to be in the books. The next time race leader, the 41 of Trey Jarrell, comes across the start-finish line. As he does, he leads over Jeff By Jr. That gap between the top 2 is about 0.3 of a second. Make it twice that gap to third, where you find Peter Fisher. That's when things were really crazy, but for the moment, single file till we get back to P15, the 20 of Anthony Sergi. Taking a look to the outside on the 57 car of Tyler Scott. Scott went to the inside, and it was an attempted defensive move on behalf of Sergi to try to maintain that position. Won't work. He'll slide back to 16th and then move Tyler Scott up to 15th again. He started on pole position in that 57 car. Black flag all the way back here. We'll try to follow his progress as he tries to get back to the front of the field.
Trying to get back to the front of the field. All these guys right now working their way through this field, just trying to find the top spot. Into the wall, Cole Tim is. That Cole Tim machine has had a rough race from this point, and I mean, Cole Tim is doing all he can to manage himself right now, as he is going to try to pick up a few positions here. Cole Tim has been around all the excitement. He's been Mr. Excitement tonight, as they're now thinking about going side by side behind him, thinks better of it, and still single file throughout the field right now as everyone tries to find their groove. Right now, Adam Gillerland and Justin Brooks are starting to catch up to Peter Fisher, and as that happens, Trey Jarrell is starting to get reeled in by Jeff By Jr. A whole lot going on through this field right now, and remember, this is only a 125 lap race. This thing is going to be over real quick. I mean, these laps are clicking off really, really quick, and before you know it, it's going to be not too long to go.
Yeah, once we get to what we said, right when we pass the lap 25 mark, 100 to go, and then very quickly, these next milestones in this event, quarter distance, 2/3, halfway, all that good stuff going to be coming up very quickly if we stay green flag racing. When you talk about the fact that our leaders are running lap times, 20.812 the last time for Trey Jarrell. However, you mentioned that the 1 machine trying to close in on that gap with the 29 the last time by. That number 1 GetShop.com Chevy SS super late model of Jeff By Jr. attempting to close the gap. Still sits at 0.3 of a second. If anything, Peter Fisher closing that gap a slight bit After starting about 9/10 of a second off after that first lap on the restart, he's cut that down to 8/10 of a second. Biggest mover so far inside of the top 10. The top 7 all started in single-digit starting spots. You got to look to 8th before you find our big mover, and that is that 2 of Jeff Ramsdell and the number 2 Dodge. That car has been pushed around quite a few times so far, PD, but he's gained 8 spots so far after starting 16th to get up to where he is right now. Right behind him, a solid run for the 11th of Cameron Hamilton, who sits 9th right now. He's gained 3. And then how about Todd Guerin in the 54 car, up 9 to P10.
Well, I'll talk about that. Up 14 position is Kevin Malone. He's in 14th right now. Doing a fine job, he is, so good job to him as he will continue to try to pick up spots now and as all these guys get suited in. Justin Brooks way loose off the corner. 53 goes down low, saving it, goes send Adam Gilliland to his outside. Here is Justin Brooks, hangs on to it, and now Gilliland's going to try to find his way around him. Adam looking to the inside, and here he goes. He will make the crossover on him. Adam Gilliland trying to get it done here, and he will. Justin Brooks going to lose a spot to Adam, as now he will slit in the line, and all these guys just having a good old time out here right now. A little bit less relevant battle right now is between Joe Schaefer and Jeff Ramsdell for the 7th position, as those two going to battle at it, try to get it going with each other. Joe Schaefer had a really fast car in practice, has to be a little disappointed, and just trying to give a few other guys a shout out right now. Bill Tomer trying to find his way back to the field, making a move right now, and Scott Rutherford in the 64.
And that battle is just a little bit outside of our top 15. Actually, it's right on the edge of that, just out of there, as you got Houston Hamer right in front of these guys. The 77 car in 15th position. He's right behind 18 of Malone, who you talked about, has gained half the field from where he started after being in 28th. He's up to 14th, but right now, things are single filed out for the moment, so now's the opportunity where you get to see what these race cars do on a long run. You keep monitoring the intervals between each position and try to see who really is faster. The big difference from being faster on a short run, Pete, than on a long green flag stretch, which appears we could be seeing right now, already now past the lap 40 mark, 42 crossing over the 43 at the start-finish line. We do have 21 cars out of the 28 that started this still on the lead lap. Nobody off of the lead lap is still in this event. So Alan Lewis, you got Scott Schrader, Joshua Thornton, Gil Gawk, Matt Cocker, you got Joshua Hart, Mason Diaz. All those machines are out of this event after being in incidents earlier on, and they are done. We got one car, looks like up against the inside retaining wall. That car may have escaped off of the racetrack. Somebody was slowed down the back straightaway. No issues, though. We do stay green flag.
So those guys right now are going to try to save it, and they will, like you said. And everyone at the moment just, starting to get away from each other, find their groove, getting their tires warmed up, and getting ready to go at it. Tyler Scott and Cole Tim are right on top of each other. That could be a battle here in a few moments. Cole, and as we have a car coming down pit road, it's the 37 of Tim Bills, who's had a rough race up to this point. Had under the race with a lot of promise. Practice second, gridded 8th. Looked like he would have a real fast car, but now he is bringing it down pit road. And, well, tough break there for Tim Bills, as he was the car that hit the fence here. So all these guys going to add. Now Tyler Scott's make his move on Cole Tim to the inside goes Tyler Scott. Strong run for him is going to make it happen down there. Clear is Tyler Scott up to the 11th position. He'll now set his sights on Todd Guerin in the 54 as these guys continue to race here. A little bit of pack forming right there around that 8th to the 11th position.
You get one person that's just a little bit slower, and if you're not going to use the chrome horde quite yet, it can very easily create that pack of cars. I wasn't seeing things, though. It was at 37. He said Tim Bills got sideways. I saw him catch the inside retaining wall down to back straightaway. Was able to get the pit road under his own power, but sits there right now, and things aren't looking like they're going to be able to get back out on track. It is torn up. If he does go back out there, not really going to be in a position to gain a lot unless a lot more people wreck out of this event. But unfortunately for him, this race does have a very green flag atmosphere. You talked about that pack around Cole Tim, the 51 machine right now, sits comfortably in P12. You've got a couple of guys stacked up behind him, 14th through 16th. That's a handful of guys within a couple of tenths of each other. Up at the 5 of Tomer, who again is working with some back-end damage in this one, but still out there on track after starting 10th, trying to fight back up to where he at least started. He's got Hamer and Rutherford right behind him. Another good pack of cars. How about 4 of them all over each other? The 13 of Eric Myers in 6th, 7th position, the 22 of Joe Schaefer Jr., Jeff Ramsdell in 8th position, and 9th to Cameron Hamilton. These guys are all over the back bumpers of each other, maybe with 1.5 to 1 car length in between each of them, but that freight train single file line goes down the front straightaway. They do sit, however, about 4 seconds off of the top spot, which is still held by Trey Jarrell, and good news for him is he's actually pulling away from Jeff By Jr. That gap now up to half a second.
That gap now up to half a second, like you said, as they continue to go at it here. Looking at the 9th position right now, Jeff Ramsdell is in 8th, Cameron Hamilton in 9th. Really, I think that Cameron is going to try to get up there and take it away from him. Remember, these guys are quickly getting to halfway here. We just passed the 50-lap mark, and, well, it's just not getting any closer up front. Trey Jarrell's actually pulling away a little bit now from Jeff By Jr. Trey Jarrell, I didn't expect him to win this race, really. I expected him to be in the top 5, and obviously still a long way to go, but Trey Jarrell has made a strong statement here early as Houston Hamer now loses a spot to Scott Rutherford for 16th. Scott Rutherford making another move there, and all these guys still trying to out there and get it done as now Kevin Malone looks inside of Cole Tim in the 51. Those guys going at it here, and here comes the 18 of Kevin Malone underneath Cole Tim. Those two battling side by side. First side by side battle on the racetrack right now as Cole Tim is possibly losing position here as that 18 looks to make his move.
And it's the Phoenix Racing 51 on the high side that is trying to play the defensive to the Interstate Batteries Toyota on the inside. The 18 got real tight. Kevin Malone up the hill and just about took the wrap off the left side of that 51 car. Great job from the 07 of Brandon Simmons and the 5 of Bill Toler behind him to get around. And the first time they do it again as the 18 once again finds the outside of retaining wall at that time at a quarter number 4. That race car is not handling very friendly, and you see he is still working that wheel just to keep it pointed the right direction coming off of corner 2 and down the back straightaway for that battle right there. How about P3? This one's starting to get a little bit interesting. It looks like it's a Gail Force entry, the 71 of Peter Fisher in 4th. He's closing in on Adam Gilliland. That gap just about 2/10 and change right now between between 3rd and 4th. They're way back from 2nd and 1st. Again, Adam Gilliland and everybody else inside of the top 3. They were there, Petey. We were talking about 9/10 and 8/10. That settled down, though.
For 3 wide momentarily with Jeff Ramsdell, and Myers and the 22s. The 22 gets loose still. Joe Schaefer trying to save it. They were 3 wide for a quick moment. That was exciting there for the 7th position, and they're all going to hang on, though. Joe Schaefer getting the pour into that's going to lose a lot of spots as he falls behind Todd Guerin. And the real winner in all of that was indeed Jeff Ramsdell. He's going to move up to the 6th position now, and good run for him here as these guys get all that organized out. And really, that just split up the whole field right now. Everyone's getting a little bit away from each other, and, well, that little incident there is what splits up good racing, but I'm sure they'll catch each other sooner or later. All those cars were really fast, and I really think Schaefer was the fast one. Oh, as the car went around up front, it was Justin Brooks. No, it was Zach Steele. It was a lap car of him. The 97 had went around, but no caution, stayed off the track.
97 with a self-spin issue off of corner number 4. Spun perfectly down through victory lane. It's a little bit early for that as he has troubles, and it puts him 1 lap down. That car then had to ride around the apron and now rejoins the racing surface, but now becomes the only car that is still on track that is off at a lead lap, and Lucky Dog is still in effect, so if he were to get a quick caution, he could still relatively get back in this race. That car does not look like it's all that friendly. Those tires are really heated up now, so it's not going to be giving him the best responses either, and is working with some back-end damage as well, but it is in a position to get back into this event. Side by side between the 71 and the 53. It's a battle for P4. Justin Brooks on the attack, and, well, he'll get it from Peter Fisher. The 71 car yields high, just as I was talking about how Fisher was starting to get looking at Adam Gilliland. Maybe had his eyes focused in front of him, not enough of the rearview mirror. The 53 capitalizes. PD now up from 7th. Justin Brooks cracks the top 4.
Brandon Simmons trying to get past Cole Tim right now, side-by-side battle. That 07 looking underneath them, and that Oxford Auto Salvage, call 539-9673 for all your salvage needs in Oxford, as he has completed the pass successfully. Brandon Simmons a good guy, as Cole Tim looks to the inside, will not make much of it. So here now up front is these guys are still all out there trying to get it done. More and more Trey Jarrell is pulling away from Jeff By Jr., and man, Trey Jarrell is looking stout right now, running about 10th
contact, the 51's into the 07, up the fence, there they go. Brandon Simmons is into the exterior wall. PD, you were just talking about that battle. They had single filed out. I was going to say the 51 has been a very busy person on this last stint. He really drove it into the corner, got close, and looks like it may have been the good old net code that may have assisted that 07 with the contact. 51 got on the brakes and then tried to avoid it, and then when Simmons overcorrected, he went up the hill, came across the nose of the 51, rear end first into the outside wall in 1 and 2, and pretty much right on the money with halfway point. Cautions out the leaders. Now hit the pit lane led by the 41.
Yeah, I was just about to note, the 81 of Alan Gilliland was by far the fastest car on the track there in that run there. I mean, he was running laps way faster than Trey Jarrell and the one of Jeff By Jr. I think he has the best long run car if we get another long run here. And Cole Tim was removed from the server for second caused caution, so that will be his elimination from the event. But that was really exciting there with Adam Gilliland. I think if he gets another fair chance to get towards the front hill of a fast piece as these guys, slow pit stops these super late models, just like the street stock and normal late model, it's going to take him a little while to get off pit road. We'll see who does end up getting out first. I would sure hope it's Trey Jarrell. I mean, the way that these work here, there should be no one to the advantage, and it is Trey Jarrell. And second's going to be, it was close, but it's going to be awarded to the 71. So the 71 of Peter Fisher gets it, and Justin Brooks, the second, will be out third. No cars opting to stay out here, so we're going to have a good old-fashioned battle here. The big loser on that cycle of spots, though, was Jeff By Jr. He lost a ton of spots. He actually lost about 10.
And this is a good update because we do have a couple of cars that have not yet hit the pit lane. I know the 20 of Anthony Sergi is yet to come down pit road. Houston Hamer, Cameron Hamilton are scored right now in second and third. They stayed out an additional lap and then came down pit road this time by us. So once we cross the start-finish line, that scoring will update. But it appears right now that a car that qualified in 26th position, that 20 car, is going to stay out, Petey. That would be an interesting call unless he's going for the bonus points because, again, there is a championship on the line here, and he could very well duck down at 2 to go or 1 to go, but at least for the moment, he's passed the pit lane entrance 3 times and is yet to come down the pit lane. For those that may be unfamiliar with the In the Zone Racing Network, they do have 3 other series that they run, and again, for all the information on this, go to ITZR.net. They also run the Xfinity Series Wednesday night that is currently in Season 7. The ITZR Truck Series is Monday nights at Season 8. And on Sundays, starting actually this Sunday, the season opener for the ITZR SK Modifieds Season 11. For all that information and more, again, check them out online for all the racing that they provide at ITZR.net or Facebook.com/InTheZoneRacing. But tonight is round 2 of 12 for the Season 12 campaign of the GetShop.com Late Model Shootout Series. So I want to give a call to GetShop.com for title sponsoring this series tonight.
Yeah, well, this has been a fun race, and one thing I like there is this series, this is the 12th season for this series in specific with the late models and whatnot, but that's quite a lot of time. I mean, I don't know the exact years on it. I'm well aware of this league. I've heard of it before, but I've never really been involved in it, I assume, like some others would have done. So this one should be exciting, though, to see what they can end up doing here in this finish of this one. But this league's been around for 12 seasons. Don't know the exact timestamp on that, but I know it's been around for long enough. So these guys know what they're doing at this point in time. But while they put on a heck of a show here, one thing I do feel bad, though, for is Jeff By Jr., who lost all them spots. But Trey Jarrell, I mean, really the only guy that was touching him was Jeff By Jr. Obviously, with lap times, Adam Gilliland, I think, was pretty close. But we'll see what can happen here late in this one. Really think that Trey Jarrell has this race at point if Adam Gilliland can't get past these cars quick enough. Because Adam Gilliland, I do believe, is only the car that can contend on this. Teammate Justin Brooks, I don't think Brooks has the car tonight. Brooks has I mean, he told me before the race he thought his car was going to be a little tight and he wasn't going to be worth much in this race. I didn't believe, though, because normally when he says that, he ends up being decently fast, but that was not the case here. Justin Brooks is looking, I mean, not slow, obviously. He's still a top 5 car, but he's not looking like he has the speed to beat Trey Jarrell here.
The car that had stayed out, being that number 20 machine of Anthony Sergi, has been given an EOL penalty. He's back at 18th position, so that clears things up at the front of the field. And just like we were at the start of this event, everybody on equal ground. The top 4 are Trey Jarrell, Peter Fisher, Justin Brooks, and Adam Gilliland. Pace car is down and away. The 41 control car going to be on the inside. He accelerates via that control car option from the pace car, hits pit lane to the green, actually flies. It'll be a little quarter forward. It worked out well for him, as well as Justin Brooks. PD, the 53 car, going to follow him through. Not quite clear for second yet. The 7-1 of Peter Fisher fighting back hard, but it does look like that 53 has the preferred spot.
Right now, Justin Brooks and Peter Fisher going at. Justin Brooks trying to get up to second. Remember, one of the primary sponsors of this event is Facebook.com/Justin Brooks Designs. Be sure to check that out. And if you want a good paint scheme like Justin Brooks or Trey Jarrell's, be sure to check him out. Peter Fisher now losing our spot to Adam Gilliland's going to slide it right in front of Jeff Ramsdell. Great move there for Peter Fisher to get in front of Ramsdell. But yeah, just be sure to check that out on Facebook as these guys continue to battle it out. And while looking back a little further, really no side-by-side racing that I'm seeing, so all these guys are trying to figure it out. Here they go, 54 underneath the two of Jeff Ramsdell. Todd Guerin is now looking to make his move. Todd Guerin now is trying to make a pass here. Good move for Guerin as they are going to go side-by-side, and Ramsdell up the racetrack. The pro driver is under deep pressure.
And that's the 54 on the inside, who has so far passed 13 cars to get to where he sits right now. Make it 14 as he started 19th. He's up to 5th right now on the racetrack and is now clear of that 2 car. Now gets a little bit sideways coming out of corner number 2. Does still have about half a car length to the good. We do expect that inside lane to prevail as it has in the other battles we've seen off of this restart. There it does. And the 1 car going to come through as well. Jeff By Jr. really trying to make up for lost ground here, PD, and does not have a lot of time to do so as he continues to try to claw through this field. Meanwhile, the 57 of Tyler Scott, who started on pole position, got a black flag early. He still finds himself back in P10. Looks like he may be able to follow the 11 of Cameron Hamilton in front of him through on the inside of the 2 of Ramsdell. But again, still a long way to go through. Shows you that a car can be really strong up there in clean air, but it is not easy to pass the talent like you have in this field once you hit the top 10, and that's where the 57s kind of got stranded at.
Speaking of talent, Trey Jarrell has a lot of it right now as he continues to pull away from Brooks and Gilliland. I do believe Gilwer has the better car right now. He just has to find a way around Justin Brooks, and I do believe that that car will end up being near the front as Trey Jarrell continues to run good lap times, pull away a little bit that time. And, well, as we look down the field now, Jeff By Jr. is recovering. He's up to the 6th position, looking to make a move here on Todd Guerin. Jeff By Jr., one of the big veterans, looking to get up in the top 5. Same with Joe Schaefer Jr. As cautions out on the raceway, wrecking in the back. It involves the 2 of Jeff Ramsdell.
We've talked about it all night, how that 2 car has had a couple of incidents of contact quite a few times this evening. He had some assistance on that one. And this is just a part of racing, PD. When you get staggered, it's not like the 2 car was right behind the 57 in front of him, but he wasn't door-to-door with him. He just had a nose there, which meant that the 13 tried to, well, just get a nose in there. And Eric Myers made a move to the inside, slid up the hill the slightest bit, and the 2 car gets turned around in that one. Eric gets on the brakes and gets punted from behind the 5 of Bill Tomer. No way that he would have been able to check up in time. Both the 2 and the 13s end up turned around and facing the inside retaining wall, so back under the caution flag as we work just past lap 75, which puts us within 50 laps to go from the USA International Speedway, with that 41 sitting atop the pile. We talk about how important these restarts are, PD. We normally talk, though, about how exciting the 2-wide battles are for P3 on back, P4 on back, P5 on back. We really haven't seen somebody be able to stick really right on the back bumper of our leader so far tonight, because that leader, again, can go when he wants from when the pace car hits pit lane to the green actually flying. Trey Jarrell has been working that beautifully. Can anybody even get to him? You talked about how good Adam Gilliland was. He'll be right behind him on this one.
It'll be interesting to see. One thing I want to note quickly before we talk about that was Jeff Ramsdell did a great job eating that inside wall. I mean, he barely missed that thing. It was close, good driving there on his part, but I do believe this restart will be key if Adam Gillerland, I keep wanting to call him Gilwer, that's his nickname, if he can get around Justin Brooks real quick here. I do think he'll have a shot to get up straight Jarrell, but he needs to do it right on this restart. He's not going to have all day if he can do it, though. I mean, that 81 is going to be stout. The Adam Gilliland machine is good on the long run. I think around the last 5 laps of the race, he'd be right up there with the 41 of Trey Jarrell battling for the win. He's going to need a decently long, maybe about 20-lap run, though, for his car to really kick in here. Still have a lot of good guys left in this field. Still a lot of racing left. Should be good here from the In the Zone Racing League. Second race of their Super Late Model Series here in honor of Bill Tomer's late mother here. So, I mean, just a lot of pink cars as you see for breast cancer here. You know, it's almost fitting, you know, if you think about oh man, words here. But if this was at the new Smyrna Speedway on iRacing, they have everything pink there, so it's kind of like, it's too bad you can't have like that with USA, because at New Smyrna you have the pink finish line, pink victory lane, pink walls, but no, instead of here at USA you just have all the baseline stuff, but it's still a lot of pink cars to make up for it.
Yeah, the pink cars, the pink ticker and all again in this evening's Gail Tomer 125. For the In the Zone Racing League, GetShot.com Late Model Shootout Series Season 12. Again, this event, the race named in honor of League Administrator Bill Tomer's mother, Gail, who lost her elongated battle with breast cancer in late February. Again, we talk about how breast cancer is something that affects, a majority, I'd have to say, of Americans and people around the world. Such a widespread, thing. So bringing everybody together with the pink, get the broadcast going to bring attention to that. Do need to give a shout out to all the drivers and the people that support this series, as well as the title sponsor, GetShot.com, for making this broadcast possible to allow us to bring you coverage from the USA International Speedway. On a racing note, again, we have talked about the results and therefore, correlating championship standings. PT is the Let's Go on for the pace car. There are 3 drivers that have already found themselves in some heat. It's short track racing. You come to expect that. Drivers that are regulars here but are not here tonight. We got 2 of them serving 1 race suspensions for retaliation under yellow. The 39 of Bill Martin, the 75 of Cody Kelly suspended for this event. They'll be back next week and on a season-long probation. Cole Tim is on a season-long probation as well for an excessive incident count, something that these drivers need to watch as they go through the rest of this event. The pace car gets set to dive down and away. Will this be one of the final restarts we see this evening? Inside of 45 laps to go, Trey Jarrell in control of this field. He elects to take the high side. That forces the 53 of Brooks to the bottom. Green flag back out at 4, and a huge gap already, a handful of car lengths, 3/10 clear for P1 and P2. The battle is third on back.
I love that teammate move right there. I mean, the battle side by side. Hard on the wall goes the 71 of Peter Fisher, and he's going to hang on to it. Adam Gillen in that position. But no, what they did on the restore is basically Justin Brooks to let Trey Jarrell get to the inside line. Their teammates, they didn't want Adam Gillen to get by him and be able to race them as they continue to get loose in the back. So that was just a strategic move on their part to ensure that they would be 1-2. Really like it, really smart there. Good job by them. The 1 of Jeff By Jr. almost goes around. They all save it. Bill Tomer saves it. That could have been a big wreck as everyone gets loose and really the whole field spread out after all the action we saw off that restart.
Yeah, the 1 car had some major issues trying to keep it going the right direction. A lot of other people right in that pack that we saw side by side, third on back, really around P5 is where we saw a lot of the issues. The 71 car didn't have a lot of room. He was sideways on a lot of the corners, but Peter Fisher's able to maintain a P7. But Tyler Scott back up the P6. If he can get a couple of more yellows, he may be able to get into a position to at least think about being something up at the front of this field. 18 cars still on the lead lap, and we got a spinner. The 97, Zach Steele, is around and saves it. Did pretty much a complete 360 at the start-finish line. He's in 18th position, last car on the lead lap. He will get it back going. We do stay clean and green. Good news for Trey Jarrell as he opens up that gap to now 7/10 of a second over Justin Brooks, who is slowly now sliding, and now he gains a little bit on that lap, just within now the 6/10 of a second marker in second place.
Man, I tell you what, Trey Jarrell has had an elite race so far. Trey Jarrell has had a career race so far. What a job he has done. It will be a shame if he doesn't take it home, but he is trying to hang on to it for all it's worth now as he comes around, takes another lap off the board, and this time by he was just a little bit faster than Justin Brooks, pulling back away to about 7.5 tenths as they have a decent-sized lead over Adam Gillen. Adam Gillen just as fast, if not a little bit faster than Trey Jarrell right now. It's the fact that he's in third. He'll have to get around Trey Jarrell's teammate. That's going to be a whole job in itself here. Restarts aren't going to help him because Trey Jarrell is just going to continue to take that outside and ensure Brooks gets to the second. But for right now, these guys are going at it. Everyone's trying to find their way to the front, and really, there's only about 3 guys who could still win this race at the moment, in my opinion, unless we get a caution, because I don't see anyone else having the speed right now to get up there and battle with Trey Jarrell, Justin Brooks, and Adam Gillen at the moment. Those are the 3 most elite cars this whole race, and they're continuing to do it right now. As these laps continue to wind off, I mean, Brooks is just a smidge slower right now than Trey Jarrell and Adam Gillen, but it's definitely Gillen and Jarrell, the fastest cars on the racetrack. We'll see if Brooks can find a little bit of speed here late in the going.
Yeah, Gilliland, again, the thing that's really been his Achilles heel is that he has not been able to get clear right off of a restart. You talked about the 41 to 53. They were able to coordinate that. You see Gilliland pick it up almost half a tenth to a tenth every lap. Went down from 1.4 to 1.3 seconds. The differential that last time by the start-finish line. He's closing in on Justin Brooks, but he was not able to get that CBR entry clear of traffic and free of a side-by-side battle off of the restart until really the 41 to 53 got the gap that they have been able to grow to. Brooks and Jarrell pretty evenly matched as they sit right now. One time the 41 will be faster at the top of the board. The next time it'll be that car in second, the 53 a little bit faster. But right now, at least appearing to be in a dead gridlock, about 7/10 of a second apart. We do have a good fight for P4. It's 2 seconds off of the leaders. It is Todd Guerin in the 54. The 22 of Joe Schaefer Jr. is all over the back of him. That's a pretty good battle. The 11 in that mix as well. Cameron Hamilton is in 6th.
Yeah, and Tyler Scott's still hanging in there. He led the first few laps this one. Ever since then, though, it's been all Trey Jarrell in this one. He's still waiting to find someone to compete with him. Here's Justin Brooks is trying to really close down the lap time gap. They're about equal right now, those two are. Now, while those two are equal, Adam Gilliland is about a little bit faster, so that is going to happen. 77 lost 3 spots that lap. Houston Hammer just had a little bit of a choke moment there as he got high in 3 and 4. I don't even know what happened there. He just kind of went high in the
contact
corner.
the 84 car. The 77 and the 84 contact down the back, and they hang on. Looks like Scott Rutherford, he got into the fence right in front of that 77, who we were just talking about, Petey. Went high in 3 and 4. Now finds himself in an unfortunate situation. They both hang on, but they bounced off each other a couple of times off the corner.
Tough break there for both of them. They're both going to hang on. Lucky for them. These super late models are pretty sensitive, so I don't know what's going to happen there. As now, here comes Justin Brooks II. His Trey Jarrell's 2/10 lap faster than them right now. Same with Adam Gilliland. Justin Brooks need to figure out something quick here. Adam Gilliland's going to become a bigger issue than he wants here momentarily. As we get closer, just 25 laps to go. Yes, this race has went by this quick. They're running 21-second lap times almost now. They're still in the 20s, but they're basically running 21-second lap times. You want to look at it. And right now, if you're Trey Jarrell, you're just hoping that your teammate Brooks can hold off Adam Gilliland for at least about 15 laps.
Yeah, and that gap is not really closed it in when you compare Adam Gilliland to Trey Jarrell, as it's still 1.4 seconds. The difference is Justin Brooks is starting to slide back from the top spot and a little bit closer into the clutches of the 81 machine. But you can really tell the speed difference between the guys in the top 3 and everybody else, because Todd Guerin running a good race. He's driving aggressively to not allow Joe Schaefer Jr. to get to him. Joe's got enough problems of his own because that 11 car is right there, but they're 4th on back. They've lost 4/10 in the last couple of circuits around the racetrack, so you do know how quick all of these guys are. Don't want to call that 40 with a sleeper. PD was 3rd fastest in practice, ended up grading up in P3, but again, it was issues for Tyler Scott at the very start of the race, jumping a restart that got him sent to the back of the pack there, and then he has not been able to make his way all the way back through. The 57 remains in P7. It kind of gave things to the 41, and unlike, just kind of riding around there and ended up losing it, he has taken control from that point, and this time by, he'll complete lap number 99, lap 100 going to be in the works, and that means 26 laps to go.
26 laps to go. Trey Jarrell takes the flag, and while we're getting closer to the finish here, please stay tuned on LSRTV. We're bringing you exclusive coverage of this In the Zone Racing League Super Late Model Race in honor of Gail's life, and as I got a poke there, sorry about that. All these guys continuing out here trying to really find their groove here. Remember, all the pink cars...
Oh, contact! The 1 car just got turned. That's Jeff By, hangs on to it. After the 5 got to him, now more contact. The 07, he's in the Jeff Ramsdell, and that's going to be one too many. The 2 car, not for the first time tonight, PD, the number 2 of Jeff Ramsdell ends up head-on into the outside retaining wall. They got away with it once, they got away with it second. It was that 3rd contact that really, was just too much after they were all off of speed there. And unfortunately for Jeff, his rough night continues as he finds himself in the outside retaining wall. Do want to note that Trey Jarrell is still your leader, and we will step away for the final time this evening. Now with inside of 25 laps to go, you're watching the In the Zone Racing League GetShot.com Late Model Shootout Series, Season 12 and Round 2. The Gail Tomer 125 in support of breast cancer awareness from the USA International Speedway, exclusively on LSRTV. We'll step away for the final time during racing conditions. We'll come back for what could be and one of the final restarts, and we'll get set to crown a checkered flag just moments away. Back live under the lights in Lakeland, Florida at the USA International Speedway alongside in the LSRTV broadcast booth, myself, Evan Pasoko, PDJ Zeller, and into production hauler Laura Lawson. We're happy to have you with us on this short track under the light Thursday evening with the ITZR.net In the Zone Racing League, the GetShop.com Late Model Shootout Series, a special event this evening for round 2 of 12 in their Season 12 Championship. A night honoring League Administrator Bill Tomer's lost mother, Gail, in the Gail Tomer 125 in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You'll see the pink on the cars, the pink on the ticker, everybody coming out in full force. And not only that, to put on a race in honor of her memory, in honor of people that, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers personally, PD, have been affected, people they know that have been affected by breast cancer. They're putting on a good show tonight in retrospect.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, this is a great. I'm really happy about all the pink cars. I mean, obviously, we've all been affected in our own way by breast cancer, so this, I'm sure, with a lot of the viewers, has a touching way of happening as well. So I'm glad you all are here with us tonight to really take this in. This is a very special event, obviously. Of the leaders that pit, not a whole lot of guys came down. Adam Gillerland was the first one to come in. Behind him, Joe Schaefer, Peter Fisher, Bill Tomer, and just the rest of the field. But for the most part, the top 10 did not pit, so Adam Gillerland's going to be restarting in the 8th position behind a whole lot of cars. Really feel good about the gap that Justin Brooks and Trey Jarrell have over the field. I mean, there's only going to be 20 laps to go. By the time everyone catches up, it's going to be a little bit too late. I think they're going to catch up at a very, very bad moment. It's not going to work out for them. But right now, we're looking at a race that, I mean, Trey Jarrell could steal the show here. No one really picked Trey to win this race, but Trey is looking to win the show here. And what should be this has been a good race up to this point. Well, it's going to be a very memorable finish here, as we're going to have 19 laps to go on the restart as the Ford First Mustang, driven by Brett Bodine, looks to pull off.
We get set to go back at it for what could be the final restart now with inside of 20 laps to go. Just a little bit longer left around this USA International 3/4 of a mile speedway. The 41 elects to take the outside as he did on the last restart. Pace car down and away. Green flag flies back underway at a 1/4, and it's side by side for second. Justin Brooks, not quite the restart that he's gotten the last few times. To the outside goes the 11 of Cameron Hamilton. He is not going to be able to keep on the outside for that. The 54 tried to go to the inside on him. Todd Guerin not able to do that either. In the top 4 now, single file out down to corner 3 and 4. Side by side for P5, and it's at 81 of Adam Gilliland trying to use those tires on the inside.
Trying to use them tires. I mean, he's going to have a lot fresher tires, not going to be an advantage here. So he's already almost to Justin Brooks. He just has to get by Cameron Hamilton, and he'll almost be there. The question is, can he catch Trey Jarrell? His lap times aren't that much better right now. Obviously, he's in a lot of traffic, but Trey Jarrell is starting to pull away a little bit. He has to find a way around Cameron Hamilton before Trey Jarrell can get too far away. To the inside he goes. Cameron Hamilton's going to go up high. Gives in to Adam Gilliland. Adam Gilliland now is going to pass him. Sets his sights on Justin Brooks. Justin Brooks is looking in his mirror, and he is shaking because Adam Gilliland has a whole lot of fuel, has a whole lot of time, and well, his tires are a lot fresher than everyone's in front of him, so here comes Adam Gilliland. He is going to look to the inside of Justin Brooks. Justin Brooks isn't going to have any of it. Sets the block. Brooks isn't like the 11. He won't give up. If you know Justin Brooks, he's one of the most aggressive drivers to me, as the bumpers are being used. And, well, here's the thing about Justin Brooks. He's not going to pull over. He doesn't like anyone. He's just going to sit there and block for as long as possible. Don't be surprised if they get into it here in the upcoming laps.
The issue for the 81 is a lot of his speed is in the middle of the corner. If you want a good run off the corner, that's what you need to be able to get a nose to the inside down a straightaway. Everybody knows that the 81's faster. There you go. Great exit sideways is the 53 of Justin Brooks hanging on. And we're going to be door-to-door down to corner 3 and 4. I think it's not going to be much of a contest. 81 sweeps high as the 53 hanging on for dear life, PD. Justin Brooks slides back to 3rd. Now he knows what he's got to do. Adam Gilliland is 0.7 of a second back, pretty much. He'll close in on about 13 laps to go here this next time around. He knows what he has to do, and he's got clean track up to the 41 car.
The tires are going to get more equal here, but the question is, can Trey Jarrell fight him off? Trey Jarrell hasn't had a battle this whole race. I believe Trey Jarrell deserves to win this race, but hey, he's going to have to fight for it here. Adam Gilliland's coming in a hurry, and he is not going to give up easily. Trey Jarrell versus Adam Gilliland for the win here in the In the Zone Racing League. I mean, this race has been an awesome race, and we're about to have a spectacular finish here. Adam Gilliland is almost to him. I mean, Trey Jarrell has to get going here. He really doesn't have a lot of time to waste, because now Adam Gilliland is directly at his bumper, and Adam Gilliland, I don't think he's going to waste too much time trying to get around him, because here comes Adam Gilliland already looking to the inside. Expect bumpers to be used, and much like Justin Brooks, Trey Jarrell is not a driver who is just going to pull over for you. He's going to take his dear time holding you up, but it's going to be not enough because here comes Adam Gilliland, but he gets loose.
Sideways is the 81 to the inside. It's a Ford versus Chevy battle, inches apart, and going to be door-to-door off a corner 2, 10 laps to go. This next time by the start-finish line, Cody Pius Racing, the CBR 81 on the inside. He gets clear, and he'll be able to pass that number 41 of Trey Jarrell, who now has to slide back to second, the first time that he has not been on the top spot since pretty much he took it over after a penalty for our race leader very early on. It was an unpredicted pit strategy, PD. Some may have questioned it, and right there, that proves it. Gilliland did have some luck with the fact that we do have this long green flag stretch. It worked perfectly in his advantage, and unless something wild happens, we get another yellow now within 10 to go. The 81, it's clear sailing from here on out. He's only pulling away from Jarrell, already 3/10 clear, and I expect that number to go up the next time by they cross the stripe.
Yeah, well, I mean, neither of his spotters agreed with it. Adam Gilliland had 2 spotters in here in the second he made the decision coming out pit road. Both of them quit, so I assume they were frustrated with his decision, but right now it's paying off as that Jags machine is flying away from Trey Jarrell. And if you're Trey Jarrell right now, I'm sorry, you have to be so disappointed. You have such a great car. It appeared as though this race was yours. You're going to win one of the bigger races of your iRacing career, but now he sits in a, I guess, very disappointing second right now as him and Justin Brooks continue to fall back to Adam Gilliland. Adam Gilliland looks as though he has this one at point of caution were to come out now. We would get about 2-lap shootout, but we need one quick because this time by Adam Gilliland's going to get 6 laps to go. Only one more lap with an opportunity for a caution to not end the race, and it's looking slim right now for the number 41 of Trey Jarrell. Trey Jarrell, great race, but looks as though it might come up short. There's a wreck in front of Adam Gilliland. He somehow misses it.
Close. You talk about the fact that it's not really just 2 guys out there. There's a lot that can happen. We had contact between the 64 and the 89. No caution, but that was right in front of Adam Gilliland. Something that is out of your control is what happens to the other. We sit right now with 18 cars that lead laps, so besides our top 2, the other 14 cars out there on track, Gilliland has no control over them. So although Jarrell is 1 second back, and now with inside of 5 laps to go, going to be 4 remaining on the board the next time around the start-finish line, he continues to slide. It's not over until the fat lady sings, but she's starting to warm up. 4 to go for Adam Gilliland.
Adam Gilliland has 4 laps to go. He wants to take home the win here in this prestigious race. He's obviously had to miss some obstacles. He's obviously had a lot to overcome, but Adam Gilliland, it appears as though this one is his unless some unforeseen circumstances occur. This time by just 3 laps to go for Adam Gilliland. What a race it was for him. He had the fastest car, never had the ability to get up front, but now it appears as though he took the right strategy at the right time, and he is going to dethrone Trey Jarrell, as it appears right now, from that top spot, Evan. And I mean, what a upset here. Trey Jarrell appeared to have this one at hand, but Adam Gilliland took it right out of his hands and said, I want this one for my own. 2 laps to go from USA International Speedway. Adam Gilliland leads.
A question you could ask yourself is, did he want it more? Did he drive it harder? We know that he made the right pit strategy call, and we know that the cautions, or lack thereof, fell in the direction that he needed them to get the job done. 1 more circuit around at 4 for the penultimate time. White flag is in the air for Adam Gilliland, a race that saw Trey Jarrell kind of been thrown into the top spot, and he dominated. If it was 25 laps shorter, it would be his. But this evening, down into 3 and 4 for the final time, the ITZR GetShot.com Late Model Shootout Series, Round 2 of the Gail Tomer Memorial 125. Give it, checkmark. The 81 of Adam Gilliland crosses the start-finish line. He walks away victorious under the lights for the USA International Speedway. A night that looked like his PD will come up 1.788 seconds short as Trey Jarrell has to swallow a P2, and Brooks will cap off the top 3.
I truly do believe that Trey Jarrell wanted more there. I mean, he was driving the wheels of that thing. He was almost spinning it off every corner. He was giving it all he had. He just didn't have the tires, and Adam Gilliland is going to take home the win. Heartbreak for Trey Jarrell. So we're going to have an opportunity to talk to all 3 of our top finishers here momentarily. I'm sure that should be fun. Can't wait to have my opportunity to talk to Trey Jarrell. Sure, he'll have some real interesting views on what happened.
The 81 car burns it down on the front straightaway. The Jag Chevrolet Camaro of Adam Gilliland walks away on top of the night. Today's special evening from Lakeland, Florida in the USA International Speedway, a special event with the ITZR.net in the Zone Racing League for the Late Model Shootout Series, an event in support of breast cancer awareness and in honor of League Administrator Gail Tomer's mother, Gail, who lost her elongated battle with breast cancer just 2 months ago now, earlier in this year. A night to honor her, a night to pay tribute to everybody in this event sporting those pink designs. We sported the pink ticker for everybody that has been affected by breast cancer, and they put on a good show in doing so as Adam Gilliland walks away victorious. He celebrates. We'll talk to him, Jarrell Brooks, and maybe more. 16 finished on the lead lap in this one. The post-race show on LSRTV coming up from the USA International Speedway. Keep it locked. You'll want to hear from the top three.
Monza is a very historic track. It's been around since the 20s, and it's gone through several permutations since then. We're also bringing forward a number of configurations. So there's chicanes that they've installed since the track's early days. So they can use original, very high-speed configurations of the track where the cars would just blow through where the chicanes are today, or they could use a more modern version. So it's a pretty cool, compelling track. The unique thing about Monza is it has a road course, but it also has a high-speed oval, and that high-speed oval can be run by itself. The Grand Prix course can be run by itself, and they also can be run together in a combined circuit, which is very unique and special in motorsports. This was one of the more challenging projects that we've undertaken. It was essentially building two tracks in one. It took a lot of time and a lot of care was put into it, but we're really happy about the end result, and we think that people have a lot of fun driving it.
Back live from the USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida on Live Sim Racing TV. You're watching our coverage of the ITZR Gail Tomer 125 as this evening's event comes to a close after 125 laps. It is the 81 of Adam Gilliland who walks away victorious. We're down on pit road with the driver of the 53 who had an equally as entertaining evening. Justin Brooks, we're down here with you. You get a third out of it. We know you would have wanted more. You gritted up in P7, and it was a very interesting 125 laps under the lights tonight in Lakeland, Florida. What went down from behind the wheel of that 53 car?
It was a lot of stuff, man. That was an eventful race for me. Beginning of the race, my brake was dragging, and I was getting off the corner better than everybody else, and they was pulling me out of car length down the straightaway, and had that happen, and went in the pits, fixed that, made some adjustments with the gas and all, and car was fast after that. I mean, I was riding behind Trey to save my stuff for a little bit when I had that long run. And as soon as I started catching, the caution come out, and we was deciding if we wanted to pit, whatever. And we thought everybody'd stay out. We pitted and didn't have enough time to get back up there, and made the late decision to stay out. And it was a bad one. And you know, I tried my best to hold off Adam with what I had. I mean, I was driving as hard as I could, but you can't do anything with fresh tires here. When they're running 0.3 a lap faster than you, you're just going to get yourself wrecked if you'd have kept on. And you know, just, I don't know. He got by me, and just best we could do is finish third. I mean, I would like to see what we could have done if that race went green on that long green flag run there at the end.
Did maybe coming down pit road on that final flag of caution there, or that final sequence, ever come to mind? Or was your opinion that everybody kind of set on staying out, and the 81 is the team that kind of threw something at it to try to come up with a Hail Mary, and it worked out for them? Did that strategy ever cross your mind, or were you guys confident and set on staying out there to maintain that track position?
Oh, I mean, it definitely, I was wanting to pit, and Trey talked me out of it. We was discussing it, and we just had a feeling to be like the caution before, someone stay out 60-lap tires. It'd be one person, at least two-person, junk the field, and we'd be caught up in it because of that. And that come through our mind, and that made us change our mind. But I mean, I was set on pitting until the last second, but it's whatever. It is what it is. That's racing for you. I mean, I think if we'd have came down pit road and got the tires, we'd have definitely had something for the win because we was fast. I was faster than Adam. I mean, that last run there and starting to catch Trey, like I said. So I think I would have had something.
The team has a solid run, and it could be a lot worse for you in the 53 because although, again, it's a special event and, again, in support of breast cancer awareness and in honor of, Bill's mother and everybody that's been affected by breast cancer, it was still race 2 of a championship. You won 1 week ago, so to follow that up with a podium, you got to like where you guys are sitting rolling forward.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's where I want to be, and I'm going to go next week here at Irwindale. That's where they go next week and try to get the win. Hopefully do a lot better there. I'm a lot better there than I am here. I don't know. We'll see what's in store for us.
Before we let you go, Justin, you're no stranger to being up here in the LSR booth for top threes, if not checkered flags. Sponsors and shout-outs, all those good people. Who makes it happen for you?
Oh, yeah. Short Track Racing Network, Fast Track Sims, Elliott Realty, Will and Dylan Motorsports, all the guys over there, they're all watching tonight. Kevin Ellis, he's watching this tonight too. Give a shout out to him. There's a bunch more people make it happen. Big Evil Designs. Let me see. Double Clutch, Toyota. That's mainly the guys make it happen. And all you guys bringing this on. It's nice seeing you guys again. It's been a while since I've been up here, but yeah. Hopefully I made it entertaining for you.
It was an exciting night for sure. Thanks for talking with us, Justin. Hopefully we speak to you again sooner than later up in the LSR broadcast booth. Congrats on the top 3, and good luck rolling forward in your championship hunt.
Oh, yeah, man.
Again, that is your third place finisher tonight, piloting the number 53 car. Justin Brooks comes home, rounding out your podium from the USA International Speedway. Now down on pit lane with our second place finisher, PDJ Zeller. You've caught up with the driver of the 41 car.
I've caught up with Trey Jarrell, and Trey, first thing I ask you first, what's your feelings after that when you dominated the race? I mean, it seemed to be a hand for you late in the race, just a pit strategy call by a guy with a fast car just ended up costing you the race there. What happened from your perspective, Trey?
Well, first of all, I feel great about how I ran, and everything was going great. I was keeping the car stuck on the bottom, and that really seemed to be the key there in the long runs, not drifting up. But at the end of the race, it just came down to pit strategy, and I knew as the leader that Adam was going to do whatever I didn't, and I felt like I was kind of trapped, and ended up working out for him taking tires. So that's a tough one when you lose them like that, but it's all good. Still had a fun race.
And Trey, I really got to ask you, I mean, do you think if you went down pit road with Adam and everything, you and your teammate Justin, do you think you would be the one walking victorious? I mean, do you think you had a better car than Adam if the tires were equal?
If tires are equal, yeah, I think I was maybe a smidge better. But then again, everybody's really even for like the first 20 laps. It seemed like till the fall off happened, I didn't really start creeping away. But say Adam had stayed out and I came in, I'm not sure that I could rein him back down or not. It really just depends on how those cars line up and if you get brakes or not. But over a 25 lap run, new tires definitely help a lot.
Now, Trey, I mean, coming into this race, not a whole lot of people had you on their list of guys who were going to win this race. Now, obviously, you proved a lot of guys wrong, dominated this thing. I mean, coming into this race, what were your honest, what did you think was going to come out of this? Did you think you were going to be dominant as you were?
Well, I wasn't really thinking about running tonight until almost last minute, and then I got in the server and re-signed up for the league. I ran some races over here a couple of years ago, and I just decided it sounded like it'd be fun tonight, and once I got comfortable with the car, I felt like I had a pretty decent shot if everything went right. But I knew the whole time, though, that pit strategy was going to be the kicker. That's definitely the most difficult part of these short track races when even if you're good on the long run, you have to worry about, when to take tires, when not to take tires, especially if you're the leader.
All right, now, do you see yourself running more of the Indy Zone Racing League races coming forward?
Oh, absolutely. I've got graduation coming up and things I got to do for that and getting ready for college, but as long as schedule permits, I'll be back.
All right, one of the better short track races on iRacing. Before I let you go, Trey, who do you got to think? Who makes that for you and the number 41 crew?
I got to thank everybody in Wheeling and Dylan. They've really been great teammates to me, and we practice a lot together, and I think having that camaraderie really helps when we go and run these league races like this.
Thank you for joining me, Trey, and I wish you much luck in the future.
Thank you very much. I'll be back.
All right, hopefully we'll talk to Trey again soon in the future. Meanwhile, down at Victory Lane, the champagne is flying, and so is Adam Gill, and Evan Pasoko is caught up with the winner.
We're down in Lakeland, Florida, Victory Circle at the USA International Speedway. Your winner tonight in the Gail Tomer 125 in support of breast cancer awareness is the driver of the number 81 car, Adam Gilliland, comes up on top. And first off, Adam, that was mean how you stole that one, because at the beginning of this, our race leader got sent to the back with an EOL, and it was all Trey Jarrell all the way through to the end where we figured nobody could do anything. A late strategy call, and you ran away with it at the end. What was the thought process going into that pit call, and how'd you get the job done when it all mattered to come to victory lane?
Well, it's pretty much similar to what Brad Keselowski did at Auto Club back in March, where Harvick and Kurt were the class of the field the entire race, and I just saw that Trey and Brooks were working together, so it was going to be impossible to get a good restart with them, with Brooks letting Trey start on the outside and then drop in by the time they got to turn one. So I knew I had to do something different. If they would have pitted, I would have stayed out, and they stayed outside. I decided to pit, and fortunately, I got a good restart, and there was a hole on the bottom, and I was able to make quick work of the guys in third, fourth, and fifth, and get a run at Trey and Brooks.
Entering an event like this, obviously on the broadcast, a lot of hype around it, as well as for a good cause, again in support of the breast cancer awareness and all that. What were your expectations coming into this? We saw on our statistics here that in the 10-minute warm-up on this side of things, excluding the hour that you guys had before the qualifier sessions, you were P8. You ended up grading up at a number 6 position. You beat the guy that started in third. Our leader at the beginning of the race comes home way back in 6th position. It looked like a steady improvement, though, for you guys all through tonight. And we were looking at lap times, and you may have been 1.3 seconds off because you got yourself in traffic on some of those restarts, but you were always right up there. What were your expectations, and did you expect to put that 81 at victory lane?
Honestly, it was a last minute decision to run this race. I don't think I've driven a silver late model, or silver. I don't think I've driven a super late model in probably like a year or two, whenever it first came out. So it was a last second decision to run tonight, and I don't know. When I got in practice, these guys race them all the time, so I didn't really have any expectations. I was hoping to get in the race and see how these guys are running their pace and see if I could adjust, and it worked out that way. I wasn't near as fast as them on the hot lap, but I could save my rear tires and give them hectic at the end of the run. But unfortunately, I thought it was over whenever we got to like lap 100. I didn't think it was going to be possible to get by those two, but we got a good strategy and we came out there with the checkers.
The strategy call worked out, and at the end of the night, you sat atop the pile ahead of 27 other competitors. For everybody else that's hunting for this championship, Adam, they're going to be going to Irwindale Speedway next week for the Southern California 125. Where can people keep up with you?
Next race I'll be doing is the NASCAR PK Antifreeze Series on Tuesday. I believe we're at Richmond, so that'll be the next race I do. Not sure if I'll be running this next week, but I'm constantly running in the Zone B Series on Wednesday nights. So I had a blast tonight, and I got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and Jeff and Bill and all the guys that put on this series. It's nice to have fun and come out here and race, so thanks for putting it on.
We want to thank you for taking a moment to talk with us, Adam. Again, congratulations. You had to drive it hard. You had to play the smarts as well, and you end up in Victory Circle. Go enjoy this one. We'll make sure to keep up to date with you as well in the NASCAR PK Free Series. We post all of those press updates as well on our website, livesimracing.com. I know Jacob Seelman, Race Chaser Online, they keep tabs on that. But thanks for talking with us, Adam. Congrats, and enjoy this victory.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Again, it is the driver of the 81 car, piloted up from P6 and walks away in victory lane, PD, and a Gail Tomer 125 in support of breast cancer awareness. What a race! We saw the the carnage, the beating and banging, the little bit of heated moments as well. In all of this, as well, if it being a big event, it is still in the middle of a championship hunt. And well, Adam Gilliland came in and he played spoiler.
Trey Terrell tried to do the same. Really, Justin Brooks was the best running regular here tonight, but good race by everyone. Really happy. We saw a lot of good fun action. Well, expect to see it in the future here in the Zone Racing League. This is kind of a one-off deal. I don't know if you'll be seeing this more on LSRTV, but be sure to check them out on iRacing for all their series. And also be sure to check out Justin Brooks Design on Facebook, facebook.com/Justin Brooks Design. And also make sure you always just keep breast cancer in the back of your mind. I'm still looking for a cure for that awful disease. Hopefully one day we can cure it. That's the bigger image here tonight. Adam Gilliland may have won the race, but right now we're all in keeping Bill Tomer's mother in our thoughts and prayers as we continue to go out through this tough week for definitely his family. And glad we could help with this event here.
And again, she lost her battle with breast cancer back in February, so the drivers got together, they put this event together, and there's a lot of things at iRacing PD. I know this event, as well as some of the the short track racing community, does a great job at this kind of stuff. I've been able to be, a part of some other things in support of breast cancer research and all of that, which is a great thing that, a lot of people, if you're not involved in these leagues, or you're not constantly, looking out for the broadcast or on the forums, you might not always hear about, but there's always great things going on in iRacing. And again, breast cancer is something that a lot of people are affected by, and it was great to represent that cause well tonight with a very exciting race. We do want to thank everybody for tuning in. We do want to thank the title sponsor of this championship. GetShop.com gives you an extremely flexible to create your store the way you like it without compromising the usability. Easy to get started and also supporting advanced features. You don't need to pay for a leading e-commerce solution. GetShop.com, title sponsor of the In the Zone Racing League. GetShop.com Late Model Shootout Series Season 12 with ITZR. Again, we want to thank the ITZR admins for allowing us to be a part of this. For more information on this series, as well as the 3 other great ones, their website is itzr.net or facebook.com/inthezone-racing. Congratulations to Adam Gilliland. He wins the Gail Tomer Memorial 125. We ask you keep Bill and his family, as well as everybody affected by breast cancer, in your thoughts this evening. Until then, good night from the USA International Speedway on LSRTV.